Putin's great lie could be a plan to end the war in Ukraine. You may recall that on February 24, 2022, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin launched his second invasion of Ukraine with the stated goals of demilitarizing and denazifying the country. Since Ukraine posed no military threat to Russia and genuine Ukrainian Nazis could be counted on one hand, both goals were ridiculous. Given that Putin's Russia has adopted all the earmarks of a fascist regime, authoritarianism, chauvinism, a bloodthirsty dictator, and a cult of personality, both goals were especially absurd. Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov recently made a positive announcement: Ukraine has been demilitarized. His exact words are as follows: "When the special military operation first began, Ukraine was already heavily militarized." Putin mentioned yesterday that demilitarizing Ukraine was one of those tasks. This process is actually nearly finished. Ukraine is gradually decreasing its reliance on its military. And it's making increasing use of the Western weapon systems it's been given. Peskov's view of disarmament is extremely peculiar. It's true that Ukraine has exhausted its supply of Soviet-era weapons and ammunition. It is also true that the 50-plus countries in the Ramstein Group have provided it with far more effective, modern, and NATO-compatible weapon systems. It is unclear how this can be considered demilitarization when Ukraine has just launched what appears to be a successful counteroffensive. Peskov could make the same argument if Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia didn't join NATO after it invited Finland. However, Peskov's illogic is completely rational. Why not continue to substitute delusion for reality, since, according to the Kremlin, Russia never attacked Ukraine, its bombs never fell on civilians, the Kakhovka Dam explosion was the handiwork of those crazy Ukrainians, the Bucha massacre never happened, and, oh yes, Putin is a true blue Democrat? Obviously, there could be more going on here than simple foolishness. Let's pretend Putin and his troops are aware of how poorly the war is progressing. After all, how could they not, despite the constant bluster to the contrary? Imagine, too, that they're trying to find a classy exit from this predicament. Then why not call it a victory and start winding down your operations? Putin and company might find that too deft by half. On the other hand, as Samuel Johnson put it in 1777, depend upon it, sir, when a man knows he is to be hanged in a fortnight, it concentrates his mind wonderfully. One Russia expert told Daily Express US that Putin may be counting on political infighting within Russia to keep him in power. Wagner CEO Yevgeny Prigozhin has been highly critical of the Kremlin's handling of the conflict in Ukraine for the past few months. Earlier this month, he said that top Russian officials would be executed for their failures in the Ukraine war. Either there will be a popular uprising, or the State Duma will vote on the death penalty and shoot the living daylights out of them. Prigozhin was quoted in an interview, and Igor Sushko, a Ukrainian-American war commentator, translated what he said so that the rest of the world could understand it. In spite of this, Dr. Peter Duncan of UCL's School of Slavic and Eastern European Studies claims that internal strife among Putin's subordinates may be precisely what the Russian president wants.